so today I'll be reviewing the Banish Starter Kit. So this video is sponsored by Banish, but as you all know, my opinions are always mine, and the Banish team, besides telling me how I should film, they told me I can just say whatever I want, so that's a good thing. I'm gonna wear this flower crown, which is gorgeous, and I spent a lot of time making it, so yeah. Remember in my previous video about micro needling, how I really loved it, and I was looking for a DIY micro needling kit because I wanted to be able to do it myself because, you know, I'm a strong, independent woman who needs no medical training, so screw medical treatment, I'm gonna try it myself. Anyway, so Banish is that product. I'm so happy. Before I get started on the review, brief background on my skin. My skin is oily in the T-zone, but it's dehydrated from within because I have this condition called Sjogren's. It's an autoimmune that just dehydrates me. No big deal. You know, it's just inconvenient. If I have to have an autoimmune, this is my autoimmune of choice because it's really not a big deal, but it does mean that I need to hydrate like a 40-year-old lady because my skin is that dry. And my skin is also aging because I am turning 30 this year, but despite aging, I'm still acne prone. What the hell? So yeah, I'm very prone to acne, and my skin scars very easily. Even if I don't pop my pimples, which I often do, bad, I know, but even if I don't pop my pimples, I get all these discolorations, so it's really annoying. My skin really hates me. If you're curious about my current skincare routine, I'll link the video to my current skincare routine above and below. There are slight changes to that skincare routine video. I have added Vitabrid's Dual Serum to my routine, which is really awesome. And I've also included this face oil that my friend makes into my routine. If you'd like to see the Vitabrid review, I link it above and below. Vitabrid is awesome. I love it. Anyway, let's get on to the review. So, brief overview, what is microneedling? Microneedling is a process where you poke little holes with needles all over your face to create really micro wounds all over your face. It sounds scary, but the purpose is when your skin is rushing to heal those micro wounds, in turn it starts healing over older wounds that it may not have done a good job healing. So say you have acne scars, it's usually because your skin just did a half-assed job healing it. So once the wound has closed, your skin just went, okay, I'm done. But of course, you know, you're left with an ugly scar. So microneedling has been proven to work to slowly heal all these old scars. I believe in it, and I did a microneedling treatment with a doctor and I love it. But the downside is I can't do it while I'm breaking out, and I'm always breaking out. With the doctor, the treatment costs about $400 per session. And I feel like it's not worth it to do it for just one patch of cheek because the rest of my face is breaking out. That's why I was looking for a DIY kit to do it myself at home. So Banish has two microneedling tools. One is a Banish roller, which is just like the normal roller you use for microneedling. It looks like a lint roller with spikes on it. Then there's the Banish stamp, which just looks like a rubber stamp with spikes on it. So to use these products, you first soak the tools in alcohol for at least 5 minutes. This is an optional step, but I also like to wipe my face down with alcohol just to make sure everything is clean. The way you use the Banish roller is, first, you roll it in one direction over your face about 4 or 5 times. Then you turn it 90 degrees and roll it in that direction for another 4 or 5 times, and pretty much that's it. You can only microneedle your face once every 2 weeks, so this is only the second time I'm microneedling my face on my own, and as you can see, I'm totally an expert. It's so easy. Now, the Banisher stamp is ingenious. Just stamp it 4 or 5 times on whichever spot you'd like to treat, and the reason I say it's ingenious is because it allows you to stamp around your breakouts, so it's really awesome. So, is it painful? I mentioned in my previous videos I have a bit of an out of whack pain tolerance. So my idea of not painful may be different from other people, but personally for me, I didn't find it too painful. Okay, it's a bit more painful in the bonier areas like my forehead, but the fatty areas like my cheeks, it's really not painful. It feels like you're just rolling your face on the prickly end of Velcro. So not that painful at all. In fact, I found the pumpkin enzyme mask more painful, and I'll get to that later. I was actually pretty disappointed by the lack of pain because I was ready to be a big baby about it, show my husband my bloody face and see him scream and, you know, freak out. Unfortunately, there's like no blood. Look at my face right after I did it. It's just it's clean, like zero blood. So yeah, I was hoping I'll get a very dramatic photo of my face with pinpricks of blood all over, but nope, it's very mild. And yes, there's a slight stinging afterwards, which just feels like a mild sunburn, but not that bad. And I only felt it in the areas where I made a mistake, and I guess I lost count of how often I was microneedling because it was kind of relaxing, so I ended up rolling over the same spot maybe 10 times. Don't do that. I goofed up. So only those areas kind of stung, but the rest of my face, nope, didn't hurt at all. So yeah, I was slightly disappointed over the lack of pain. So Banish recommends you don't use makeup for 8 hours after microneedling, so they recommend do it at night. That way, if you must wear makeup the next morning, you can. But you know me, skincare is number one. Your makeup is often dirtier than you think and contains a lot of germs and bacteria. So I rather be safe, and I usually don't wear makeup for about 2 days after I do the microneedling, just to be completely safe. But that's just me. If you're feeling fine wearing makeup 8 hours after doing this, go for it. But I'm just paranoid. In fact, right now I'm not wearing any makeup, so you can check out how my skin after the microneedling treatment is. As you can see, it's not red or anything. And let me show you my skin yesterday, a day after the microneedling treatment. Yeah, it's still looking pretty clean, no redness whatsoever. I could be healing faster because I used my trusty Dr. Jart Cisapair cream immediately after and every day after doing this microneedling treatment. I have found that this cream makes my skin heal so much faster. So there isn't much downtime with this. You definitely can go out barefaced the next day if you want. That's what I did, but you know, that's me. So price-wise, the Banish roller and the Banish stamp are each $49, which I think is very reasonable compared to $400 I'm spending with a doctor. Sure, the roller and the stamp can only be used 4 times each because, you know, bacteria does accumulate after time, so you do have to get rid of it just to be safe. And also because this is a DIY kit. At home, the needles aren't as long as what doctors can use. So as a result, you'll probably need more sessions to get rid of your scars, but I still think it's still overall cheaper than going to the doctor, so I'm still going to buy it. And to prove to you how much I like this, I'm not just sponsored to say this, let me show you my latest haul from Banish. So yeah, I used my own money to get 3 Banisher roller and 2 Banisher stamps. I paid for this myself. Banish didn't give me a special offer or anything. I did take part of the buy 3 get 1 free offer, which Banish has for everyone on their site. And because, you know, I wanted free shipping, I added an extra Banisher stamp just so that I make it past the threshold for free shipping. But yes, I didn't get a special offer from Banish at all. A special offer that's not available to anybody else, that is. But I spent money because I really like this product. Now, the Pore Smasher. So to use this, first you have to stick it in the freezer for about 30 minutes so that it's nice and cold. Then you just roll it all over your face. Stop making fun of me. Stop making fun of me! If you're familiar with jade rolling, it's the same concept. Personally, I think the reason jade rolling works is simply because, you know, you're massaging your face with a cold item, and that does help reduce puffiness, increase circulation to your face, so your skin will look better. And I don't believe the jade does anything at all, which is why I think this is just as good as any jade roller. I personally do find my skin looks glowier after I use it, but you know, it's the same effect as putting cucumbers on my eyes or cold teaspoons to reduce the puffiness, and you know, massaging my face to make it more glowy. I do really like this. I think it's an awesome massage tool. On its own, it's $39, which I think is kind of on the expensive side, but you know, I know it's not that expensive for most people, so you can go for it. It's a really useful massage tool. I'm a cheapskate. I think I can get the same effect with cold spoons. Maybe it won't feel as nice, but I'm a cheapskate. If I didn't have this, I'd do that. And I have to admit, I haven't been using this as often as I should. Banish recommends using it every day, but for me, it's in the freezer. Once it's out of sight, it's out of mind. I feel like I'm a baby who hasn't developed object permanence yet. So if it's not in front of me, I think it doesn't exist. I keep forgetting about it. So yeah, I do think it's useful, but maybe not for me because I keep forgetting about it. Oops. So that's it for the tools, and now I'll review the skincare items. So first will be the activated charcoal clay mask. So to use this, you just put some on your hand and add water or any liquid of your choice. If you want to use rose water or witch hazel, go for it. And you just mix it to the consistency you like. I personally prefer it thick, and then spread it all over your face. And because I like the texture to be thick, mine dries within 7 to 8 minutes, and you know when it's dry because your face feels really, really tight. Like any clay mask, it's supposed to help draw out all the oils and gunk out of your pores, hence your skin looks better and your pores look tighter afterward. I often use clay mask, and I think this is just as good as all my other clay masks. Currently, my favorite mask is Glam Glow, but Glam Glow is super expensive. I'm still deciding whether or not I'd like to replace it with this because Glam Glow does have the additional effect of helping bring all my cystic acne to head faster. So when I'm breaking out or there's a stubborn pimple that's brewing under my skin and will then come to head, I use Glam Glow and it tends to come out after. Well, it doesn't have that same effect as Glam Glow, but it is less than half the price of Glam Glow. It's $29, so that's one thing I'm deciding on. Oh, this is a bit hard to remove, so I use a cognac sponge to wash my face, and I find a sponge really, really helps to remove the mask off cleanly. If you don't have a sponge, maybe use a wet cloth and just gently use that cloth to wipe over your face to help clean it off. If you're using just your fingers, you're gonna take forever to clean it. So yeah, but remember when you're using a wet cloth, do it very, very gently because you don't want to tear your skin. Now, the pumpkin enzyme mask. This is my favorite skincare item from Banish. The only reason I'm not repurchasing it right now is because it doesn't last that long, so I'm waiting until I finish this before I buy another one because all Banish products are prepared fresh. There's no preservatives, so you don't want to keep them for too long or they will go bad. So this mask contains AHAs in the form of glycolic acid, and AHAs, what it does is it penetrates your skin to help slow off the dead skin on your skin surface and reveal the glowing skin underneath. And with that, it helps unclog pores, brightens your skin. Your whole face just looks cleaner and more glowy. I like AHAs, but just remember AHA does make you more photosensitive. For me, AHAs do make me sunburn much, much, much faster, which is why when I'm using this product, because of the AHAs and also the fact that it contains citrus extracts, I make sure I use sunscreen even if I'm indoors, and I avoid excessive sun exposure. Seriously, if I use this, I stay away from windows. I really act like a vampire because I know I'm gonna sunburn more easily. So if you're using this, remember to use sunscreen the next day. You should be anyway, sunscreen's good for you. And also avoid excessive sun exposure. So if you're going to the beach, don't use this the day before. Banish recommends using it 2 to 3 times a week. I've been using it 3 times a week and I love it because the next day, all my pimples that are brewing underneath and refusing to come out, they all just pop out. And I think this is more effective than Glam Glow in making my pimples pop out. So I'm really happy because this is cheaper than Glam Glow. This costs $35, which is about half the price of Glam Glow. So I'm very, very happy. This is really my favorite masking product for acne right now. Sure, I think if you keep using it, your acne will just disappear naturally, but I'm really bad. I get super excited, so I start popping. Don't do what I do, do as I say. Yeah, I know it's really bad, but it's so satisfying. Like all the pimples that's just really painful and not disappearing becomes poppable. I love it. I really love it. So AHAs do make your skin tingle and sting, which is why I say this is more painful than the microneedling actually, but I'm familiar with my skin and I kind of know what's a bad tingling and what's a good tingling, and I know that for me, this isn't a bad enough tingling that I have to wash it off. But if you're using it for the first time, just be safe. If you start feeling a burning sensation or it's actually too painful, wash it off straight away, okay? So Banish says that this should dry about 10 minutes, but maybe I'm using too thick of a layer because for me it takes almost up to 30 minutes sometimes for the mask to fully dry, and there's always wet patches here and there. I think personally for me, if you're comfortable washing it off within 10 minutes, go for it. Now, one bad thing about this smells like, it smells like a bitter, savory, herbal pumpkin soup. So not one of those delicious Korean pumpkin soups that smells like a Thanksgiving dessert table. It just smells like something my grandmother will brew for health and force me to chug down. And I will chug it down because she's my grandma and I love her. So I will chug it down and pretend I'm enjoying it even though I'm dreading every moment of it. So it really smells disgusting. But because it works, you know, I will keep using it. I hate it. I really hate the smell, but it works. So I will bear with the smell and the unpleasant application experience. It really, really feels like you're smothering pumpkin gruel all over your face. It's gross, but it works. So the Banish oil. Banish recommends you use this right after the microneedling treatment, and I've been using it daily for the past nearly 3 weeks now. Yeah, Banish is only giving me 3 weeks to review the product, so I know it's a bit short, but this is my impression the past 3 weeks. Anyway, so for the past nearly 3 weeks, I've been applying it right after my serums, replacing my old face oil. That face oil is created by my friend. It's all pure oil, so it's very light and quick absorbing. So compared to that oil, the Banish oil does feel heavier, maybe because the main ingredient here is glycerin, and glycerin is good for you. It's a great humectant, which means it keeps your face moisturized, but on the downside, it does feel very thick and greasy. So yeah, while so far I haven't seen any adverse reaction using this, so I think it's as good as my old oils, but it's just I don't like the feeling of it. It's a minor thing. So if you don't have a wonderful friend who makes you face oils and you'd like to give face oils a try, I think this is quite good as a face oil. But if you like mixing your own face oils and just using pure oils and skipping the glycerin, maybe you will not enjoy this because it's a bit too thick. It's just a personal preference though. I know some people really like that greasy, heavy feeling because it makes them feel like your skin is really moisturized. So again, personal preference. Now the Vitamin C Beauty Elixir. It comes in a spray form and you can just spray it all over your face. A lot of research has found that spray-on products don't fully cover your skin just because of the nature of the spray. So what you should do is after you spray it on, use your hands and tap it all over your face just to make sure it's really, really absorbed. Now, this product, I'll admit, I've only used it about 4 or 5 times before I gave up on it. And the reason is it doesn't fit in my routine. Not because it's bad, it's just because if you watch my skincare routine video, you know that my skincare routine is a bit intense. I do use multiple serums. And so I haven't been able to figure out where to place it. If I try applying it after my Sulwhasoo First Care Activating Serum, but before all my other serums, what happens is the water takes a while to absorb, even after patting it on. So the rest of my serum just seems to swim around my face a bit more. And if I use it after my serums, I feel like it just washes off all my other serums. And after 4 or 5 days, I noticed that my skin is not looking that great thanks to my lack of serums. So I gave up on this, and I don't think it's because it's a bad product, it's just because my skincare routine as it stands right now is very serum heavy, and this just clashes with the other serums. It does have a lot of great ingredients. I'm also creating a blog post with all the ingredients, and I'll link it right below for those of you who prefer reading. But, you know, for the sake of the video, I won't read out all the ingredients, but yes, the ingredients are great. There's tea tree, which is a great antibacterial. There's aloe that really promotes healing. So I think the ingredients good. I really think so. And this bottle is only $19, so if you haven't tried vitamin C before and you'd like to give it a try, I think this is worth giving a try. Because of the water form, it's lightweight, it doesn't feel greasy like some vitamin C serums, so it is worth a try. And even though it doesn't fit into my skincare routine, just because my skincare routine is so serum heavy and therefore this cannot absorb with everything else, I'm still spraying it all over my body. I can't wait to get my glowy body. So yeah. Anyway, that's it for my review of this Banish starter kit. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I answered all your questions, and if I didn't, feel free to ask below in the comments and I'll try to answer as best as I can. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. It means so much to me. It really, really helps. Anyway, thanks again for watching and I'll see you next time. See you. Bye.